arriving at Donlands Station. Line 2, 12 Kennedy.
Hey everyone, it is Sunday, April 3rd. The time is 1:17 p.m. And outside the temperature is around 6 degrees Celsius. And I'm here at Donlands Station. And apparently, I don't know where I'm going. That very official looking sign is directing me this way. I glanced over here and it looked like there was some construction going on. Oops. So for this one, I'm going to be heading on out to Danforth Avenue and then I'll walk west through Greektown and then over to the Prince Edward Viaduct. And I should finish up somewhere around Castle Frank Station. So this here is Donlands Avenue. And it looks like the bus bays are currently under construction here. And I think I'll stick to the south side of Danforth Avenue here. And there is a look to the east. There's the only cafe across the street. And there's a pop-up Wendy's right here. I don't know if that's, oh yeah, it says for delivery only on it. So they would deal exclusively with DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Skip the Dishes. Those little mobile Wendy's have popped up all over the city. There's a whole family of bikes parked there. So it's currently 6 degrees Celsius, and I think that's about as warm as it'll get today. And around Pape, I'll be walking by the future home of a new subway station. I'm quite curious to see what that site is like right now. And Greektown is located between Jones Avenue coming up and just west of Chester. And there's a road that's closed. And I think that might be an entrance to Donlands Station going in. Right there, I'm not entirely sure, or a reconstruction of it. And just on the left is Square Boy. That's a local institution here. And they serve up rather delicious hamburgers. And here is Jones Avenue, and this marks the entrance to Greektown.
But she has other ones.
And despite appearing like a vibrant commercial stretch, this area always does strike me as being a bit sleepy, even on Friday and Saturday nights. And prior to World War II, Toronto's Greek population was located mostly downtown. And they would have been around Yonge and, I think around Yonge and Dundas to Yonge and Church. There were actually anti-Greek riots back in 1918. But in the 50s and 60s, there was a rather large influx of Greek immigrants, many who landed in this area. Although I don't think this area was recognized as Greektown until 1993, at least not officially. And it looks like Papa John's won the battle of the pizza shops, as there used to be a pizza in that location right there. And amongst people in the city, this area is perhaps best known for the Taste of the Danforth Festival. That's been canceled the past few years, but I think it's back on. Usually it's the first week of August. I think I remember reading that it's scheduled for August 5th this year. And it's about 2.5 days where they shut down this stretch of Danforth between Broadview and I think around Jones. And I think it's easily the city's busiest street festival. And of course, it's not just Greek food. Von Donuts. Sugar twist, $2. And speaking of the future subway station, I think it's this building here with the Home Hardware in it. That will be demolished and turned into the new Pape Station. Well, there's already a Pape Station on Line 2, so this will connect the new Ontario line to Line 2. Line 2 runs east-west along Danforth and Bloor Street. And this new line will be starting up in North York at the Ontario Science Centre and heading south through Flemington Park as well as Thorncliffe Park and then to here in the Danforth. And then it'll be running south through Leslieville before turning west. So it'll be interesting to see that construction unfold. Kind of tripping over some of my words here. Kind of slept in a bit this morning. And we're here at Pape Avenue. So just north of here is the entrance to Pape subway station. And you'll also find Pape Village in that direction. I think that church is called Holy Name. I think there's about 1 billion other churches with that name. There's a person kind of walking uncomfortably close to me, so I thought I'd just spin around. And I think my camera might be on tilt lock mode right now. Let me see. There we go. I was trying to look up and it wouldn't look up. And these bike lanes went in during the pandemic. They've been a fantastic addition to Danforth and Bloor Street West. Or I guess they're also on Bloor Street East. I think there's plans to extend them further east on Bloor Street as they come to a stop around Runnymede. And they stop to the east of here just before Scarborough, I think at Dawes Road. I'm not sure if they're permanent or not though. And the ones on Yonge Street are coming under a vote soon.
Out of the bookstore. Mom went to get a bagel.
And I pointed the camera at Popeyes. As a lot of people have talked this place up a fair bit, Mary Brown's. But I think it's kind of disappointing. Mind you, I've only been there once. But last week I was in the area and I finished up a live stream just south of here at Withrow Park. And I decided to head up to Popeyes and have my meal. And they let me bring my scooter right into that location. I think that place is pretty new.
That's so terrible. That is not
Or you guys can meet up at Tile.
And that used to be a large Tim Hortons. It looks like there's a sports medicine clinic moving in. I think that's what that couple was discussing.
I think the butcher and the cheese guy are really bad.
And there appears to be a lineup at Massini. I think that's one of the best affordable meals in town. Yeah.
Everyone thinks that we're
And there used to be Papa's Grill. And they had to shut down, and I think they blamed the pandemic restrictions. But a popular Greek restaurant down the street, Mezza's, will be moving into that location. There's another restriction victim. Unfortunately, Louis Cypher's still here. Oh, that guy just stepped into the bike lane right in front of a cyclist. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this might be the shop that was featured in my Big Fat Greek Wedding. That was filmed in this area. And as per that sign, thank you for visiting. We are leaving Greektown. Although I guess a lot of people still consider this last stretch of Danforth between here and Broadview to be part of it. And this old church here dates back to 1910. And I was actually in this area last night having dinner. And I put a picture of that up on my Instagram. And this morning when I woke up, there's actually some sleet and hail. That was short-lived. There's a look north up Plater Boulevard. And this neighborhood is known as the Plater Estates. And here's Factory Girl. I can vouch that it's quite good. Not really a foodie. Things are either good or not good in my opinion. And that one gets a thumbs up. And there's Z80. That is a arcade bar. You pay a small cover fee. And you have unlimited access to a lot of old school arcade games. And some pinball machines, and they have a Nintendo set up. And some reasonably priced craft beer. And here's where I had dinner last night, just on the left sidebar. And they are affiliated with the Danforth Music Hall. This dish here, the short rib poutine, is excellent, as is the spicy chicken sandwich. That's what I had last night. Here's the Danforth Music Hall. And this has been in the area since 1919. They've got a rather full schedule of shows coming up. Good to see the live music scene back alive and kicking. Yesterday I did a walk along Queen Street West, and if it weren't for people wearing masks outside, you really wouldn't know that there was a pandemic. It seemed to be as busy as it normally would have been. And across the street there used to be a McDonald's. Now it's a Burger King. I would say it's a particularly inconsistent Burger King. I've been there a few times. I've had a Whopper, which I describe as delicious, and I've had another one which tasted kind of soggy and disgusting, to be frank. And here is Broadview Avenue, and just to the south of here is Riverdale Park. For a much more consistent fast food burger, hit up the A&W there. And just north of here is Broadview Station. And you got to be careful if you're cycling along here because you don't want to turn right here. There's actually a sign that says no pedestrians or cyclists. So that'll kick you off onto the Don Valley Parkway North. And I did a hidden Toronto walk, walking through this. I think it's now an adult learning center. And there's a path through here that'll lead you into Riverdale Park. And this is right where Danforth Avenue ends. And the Bloor Viaduct begins along with Bloor Street. And the Bloor Viaduct here is also known as the Prince Edward Viaduct. It opened over 100 years ago in 1918. And what's amazing is Line 2 of the subway didn't open until 1966, and it actually runs underneath the viaduct. They had the foresight when they were building it to include capacity for a future rail line underneath. And I think the total project cost back then was about $2.4 million. So it certainly wasn't cheap. And you get a view of the Don Valley Parkway there. And the financial district off in that direction. There's an old rail, or a single rail track below, which I think is long out of service. And the Lower Don Trail, and the Don River, and Bayview Avenue just beyond that. If there's a break in traffic, let's see if I can head over to the other side and get the view there. That'll give us a north look. Over the old Don Valley Brickworks. We even have this old lookout there. And we are in luck. And those towers off in the distance are where I live. That's Yonge and Eglinton. And the Brickworks is just up ahead there. And these cables you see installed were done so to prevent people from jumping off the bridge. That was a very expensive project. And at night it lights up and glows, and they call it the luminous veil. Although sadly, I don't think there was any impact on suicide rates in the city when they erected these cables. It was such a common spot for people to jump off. I guess you have to really do something about it. So just up ahead here is Castle Frank Station. And I think that's where I'll end this one. There's a really neat picture currently on Reddit, on the R Toronto subreddit. And it shows a picture of this bridge when it was under construction, and someone went through the rather painstaking task of colorizing it. And it looks pretty neat, and I kind of had that in the back of my mind when I was thinking of a walk to record today. I was also thinking about the new Ontario line. This is a senior safety zone. Drive slowly. And there's the Arts High School just to the north of here, or rather south of here. In fact, that's it. That I'm pointing the camera at. The Rosedale Heights School for the Arts. I'm sure I got the name wrong. It looks like those new Tridel condo towers have topped off. And that would be the northeast corner of the St. Jamestown neighborhood. So that is the Rosedale neighborhood just to the north of here. And I realized when I went to tap onto the subway today that I didn't buy a monthly pass for April. I had a balance of -$3, so I think I had about $10 in there before. So I didn't notice my last few trips. I was just paying $3.20 per trip rather than on the monthly pass, so I decided for this month to skip the monthly pass. I figure I'll be getting out on the e-bike and the scooter a fair bit. So I'll add up all my TTC costs at the end of the month, and we'll see if I paid more than the monthly pass. There's Castle Frank Station, currently under construction. Although one advantage of a monthly pass is I can do things like take a shortcut through a subway station, not having to worry about paying $3.20 for it since the entrance is included. And there's talk of switching to a system where rather than having a monthly pass, once you go over say $156 in a month, every ride from then on for the rest of the month becomes free. So essentially your pass would turn into a monthly pass. I have no idea why it wouldn't have been like that since day one. Gonna get my Presto card out. Although you have a 2-hour window from when you first tap in. I think I first tapped in less than 2 hours ago, So this would still be included with my initial fare. And I do not see any elevator here. This is currently not an accessible station, I would think. So I'm going to hop on a westbound train here and head to Bloor Young, then I'll head up to St. Clair. Then I'll get off and find myself on a shuttle bus, unfortunately. And the next train will be here in 2 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed this walk along Danforth through Greektown and Plater Estates and then on to the Bloor Viaduct, making my way west over to here at Castle Frank Station. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. And if you wish to support the channel, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership in the description. I also have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides. And that's where you'll find a picture of that meal I had last night. All right, thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.